So, first of all, I would like to talk about the introduction. So basically, what is permeability? Permeability is the ability of porous media to transmit or allow the fluid to flow. This factor plays more important part in oil and gas industry as high permeability allow the oil to be transmitted into its path. Permeability is being determined by using Darcy law, which is named after Henry Darcy. It is widely used in geology and petroleum engineering, and it is defined in unit Darcy D or millidarcy MD. Various measurement methodologies exist for the determination of samples permeability. For example, liquid permeameter. So, for this video, we are going to talk a lot about liquid permeameter.
Okay, for theoretical explanation, Darcy's law involves which defines the relationship between the flux, the permeability, the dynamic viscosity, and the pressure drop. And the equation is Q equal to negative K over mu times delta P. The integral form of the Darcy's law is Q equal to Ka over mu L times delta P, where Q is the flow rate, K is the permeability of the sample, A is the area of the sample, mu is the dynamic viscosity of the fluid, L equal the length of the tube, and delta P is equal to the pressure drop. So, liquid permeameter is used in geological studies. It is used to measure the geological permeability, to analyze sample condition under prolonged environmental condition. This field of research widely use liquid permeameter to assess the permeability of a geological sample in order to determine if it is an exploitable hydrocarbon reservoir. Permeability is obtained for one-dimensional flow in porous media by inputting the measured pressure gradient and flow rate into Darcy's law equation.
Basically, there are two improvements that can be made into the current liquid permeameter, which are: first, the addition of the microchip that are able to record and compute while doing the process, while the second one is using an incompressible fluid as a substitute fluid for the permeameters. So, without further ado, let's proceed to the first improvement, which is the addition of microchip, which help and able to record and compute while during the process.
Okay, now let's proceed to the first improvement, which is the addition of microchip, which able to record and compute during the process. The current tool require the hiring of professional technician just to record and collect the data precisely. This is one of the additional expenses that cannot be avoided. Imagine the need to stand and wait under the hot sun just to record the data manually and precisely into a logbook. This set of data then will be analyzed using a spreadsheet or computer. However, by adding a microchip or system into the equipment itself, we able to automatically operate the tool to collect data with high precision, with the additional features such as to collect the temperature, surrounding temperature, and the weather as well. I believe we will improve the finding of the experiment itself. This improvement will help to improve the efficiency as well reduce the cost of expenses. Additional of microchip also able to set up for the equipment to automatically calculate the result in the background just display the result. With the current technology, I believe we will be able to collect the result automatically via the Bluetooth or satellite or NFC without the need of a person to collect the data manually on each of the equipment, which I think will save a lot of time for both technician and the process. This improvement does not improve the data collection method, but as well reduce the labor cost, the cost of hiring, and many more. The capital cost might be high at the early stage, but eventually covered over time. Okay, now we will proceed to the second point, which is the using of incompressible fluid as a substitute fluid for the Permeameter. From the current liquid Permeameter, we know that the fluid compressibility affects the result obtained, which is why we need to repeat the experiment for several times just to obtain the average value. The average value we obtain will reduce the error produced during the process. So, what I mean is, the larger the fluid compressibility, the larger the error that we will produce during the process. Currently, we use various types of fluids such as brine and oil to operate the equipment. Inaccurate consideration of fluid compressibility might affect the result, but with the use of incompressible fluid, we might reduce the error that we will be produced. A good fluid will produce a good result, as well increase the accuracy and efficiency of the equipment.
So, how liquid Permeameter is used? Basically, the sample will be loaded into a chamber and a liquid is forced to flow through its varying pressure levels. The intuitive software controls the experiment parameters and collect the requisite data for analysis of the sample's permeability. As for conclusion, liquid Permeameter plays important roles in geological studies. It is used to examine the sample's condition under sustained environmental conditions and provide insight into fields of environmental research. It also commonly applied in field of oil exploration and petroleum geology.